all of the ingredients really coming together for, unfortunately, we don't like to forecast this as meteorologists, as potentially a tornado outbreak. The Storm Prediction Center has outlined all of the Wave 3 viewing area. This does include the Louisville Metro under a high risk of severe thunderstorms.
One time we may be tracking 4 or 5 of these supercell storms pushing across that's doing some major damage. It has big potential, and that's just what we don't want to scare anybody, but everybody has to be paying attention today. I would like Andy on the National Weather Service chat. We need to make sure that we're still updating Facebook best we can. Maybe at some point one person needs to be available not only to supplement coverage, but also go over to the newsroom.
We want to go to the Weather Channel's Jim Cantori. He joins us from here in Louisville as well with continuous coverage on the Weather Channel. Jim, you've picked Louisville as a bullseye. I know the Torcon index from Dr. Forbes is up there. You're right on the waterfront. We've been keeping our viewers updated all day long. Welcome to Louisville.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Unfortunately, it's not for a vacation, and I'll tell you, this is just such a large event. When you take a look at the scope of it, we've already had these tornadoes that have caused damage in northern Alabama. One of them's heading toward Chattanooga right now. There's storms producing tornadoes in south central Indiana, Illinois, and also into southeastern parts of Missouri. So, I mean, the whole thing's going up.
Our John Bowl is up in Henryville. John, what is the latest?
The first thing you notice when you pull into Henryville, right here at the main intersection of 160 and 31, is Henryville High School. The school's literally shaved right down to the ground by the twister. And look at all the cars in the foreground. Some flipped, all smashed out, windows smashed out, not just by the twister, but also by the hailstones, as big as baseballs. People are running around right now sobbing, looking for loved ones, even though we have heard that they have everyone accounted for. But you can't convince a lot of people of that because there's still, I just talked to a man who's looking for a 13-year-old. He was sobbing, he was angry. Okay, follow me. You see more vehicles flipped over right here by Henryville High School. But the picture of the day here in Henryville is right here to the right. A school bus, not just tossed across the road, shoved right into the middle of that home right there. School bus backed right into it. And in the foreground, just behind that red truck, a school bus flipped over, as well as right here to our left. Now, insulation is littering the trees, and if you look off to the right now, you'll see, as far as the eye can see, trees shaved right off. That's because this is pretty much ground zero of where this tornado hit. The people we've spoken with who saw it actually roll in say it came in and touched down just beyond the high school, to that side of the high school, swept right across the street here and went right on as far as you can see, clipping off all these homes, collapsing this church over here to the right, and knocking down everything. Police right now are going door to door on these homes. They say they still have people trapped inside, and they tell people to go to St. Francis Church. That's where they've set up the triage center.
Working for you. This is Wave 3 News at 11.
And what the scariest part was it stopped as soon as it tore across the school. It just stopped and sat there and was spinning next to the school, so you didn't know what it was really going to do next.
A destructive line of storms rips through Kentuckiana tonight. The death toll is now at 14 just in southern Indiana, with around a dozen more in other parts of Kentucky.
Wave 3 went on the air for the first time warning this morning and stayed on as residents got a first look at the damage. Tonight, a special extended newscast. Our live team coverage continues as rescue efforts ramp up throughout the coming days.
We begin by checking in with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Harnett, who is live in Henryville. Kevin.
Janelle and Dawn, it is a sad scene that's unfolding here in Clark County. We're just 20 miles north of Louisville. Over my shoulder, you see the Henry County High School, the middle school not far behind. Literally a destructive sight, almost as though a bomb has went off there. Emergency crews are still on the scene here in Henry County. Let me show you, as we look at some video from across the day, what the latest press conference said. And that was with Sergeant Jerry Gooden from the Indiana State Police, and also Clark County Sheriff Danny Rodden, saying that the work continues tonight. Search and rescue crews will be going house by house over 100 square plus mile area to make sure that the folks that have not been accounted for are, as the night goes on and into the day tomorrow. Now, Wave 3's John Bowl was here and had a picture of the damage in the daylight. John?
Some saw it.
We looked outside the window and there was a massive tornado. It was coming, looked like it was coming across the knobs and towards Henryville.
Some felt it.
He said, "Here it comes."
It come over the hill and you could see the debris swirling and swirling around, and we come in the house, went back into the hallway. I had a mattress that put up in there, and we stood around that mattress and rode her out.
It happened so fast and your mind is so numb.
Everybody is living it now.
They wiped out the school.
A high school, a middle school, and an elementary school, all leveled. Look at this shell of a school right here. Cars flipped over on their side. Buses rolled several times. A school bus shoved across the street and shoved right into that home right there. Is everyone accounted for?
Right now, we are accounting for everyone we can. And obviously, we've got mass chaos.
Police go house by house, checking off the ones without bodies inside. The lucky ones are just carried into the only structure still intact, a church turned into a triage unit.
There's gas leaks. The houses are all completely demolished back there, completely to the ground.
Homes that survived the twister looked like they were strafed by huge bullet holes. There were tennis ball-sized hailstones that smashed out scores of cars, too. Weird scenes, like a canoe folded neatly in half over a downed wire. Sad scenes, as 4 homes in the same family, all destroyed. It's enough to make even the normally stoic state trooper break down.
We've got a terrible tragedy here, and we've got to try to deal with it.
The images hardest to erase are the chalkboards and chairs and buses and everything else associated with 3 destroyed schools.
And I just want to graduate, and most kids my age hate school, but I love school and I like learning.
Now they're learning the hard way. A tornado doesn't discriminate. As the sun sets on a broken water line that looks like a sprinkler, the only lights that still work are red and blue, and a white dome light still shining in one of the smashed cars peeking out from inside Henryville High. Working for you, John Bowl, Wave 3 News.
That was John Bowl reporting. I'm joined by Clark County Sheriff Danny Rodden here. And Danny, this is just, you grew up here, you know what this is like to look around a community that you're familiar with, but to see it in the shambles that we have tonight must be heartbreaking.
To say the least, it's very heartbreaking. It's just, you're just in shock, you're numb. My heart goes out to all the families up here, and we're, but I just know how resilient the people of Clark County are. They're great Americans, and they're going to bounce back, and we'll pick up the pieces and make it work again.
Nothing's for certain. You think you have your life figured out, and it can change in a heartbeat.
3 words on a wooden sign hanging on a front door really say it all when you see what's left of Jonathan Vest's mother's home.
That sign was there before, and in that bay window there were 8 or 10 angel figurines, and not one of them was damaged.
But the rest of the house that sits overlooking beautiful Jordan Lake cannot be salvaged. Vest's mom and stepdad moved in more than a decade ago.
Their plan was to retire here, pay it off, and have a getaway, right at their own home.
While the tornado ripped through Pekin, they were huddled in the basement watching their dream crumble.
At that time, I received a text from my mom that they had taken cover and that the storm was coming right through their home.
That's all he heard until hours later, when he got word they had made it out alive, despite losing nearly everything.
Everybody is helping everybody.
Next door, Missy Caldwell's home was barely touched.
When I pulled up and seen that it was just minor damage, it was, I felt really grateful after seeing what else, other devastations that's around here.
But now she lends a hand, along with perfect strangers.
In 2004, our farm got hit, and we're just out returning the favor to different people.
At a time, many are just glad they are still here to help, and at a home where angels gathered during Friday's deadly storm.
You can call it what you want. I'm a God-believing Christian, and my family is too, and that's what we believe took care of them. It's nothing but the grace of God that they're all still alive.
Mourning continues here in Pekin, Indiana, Washington County, after a deadly tornado levels this mobile home park. A father whose daughter and children were killed, and that twister opens up about his loss.
I'm still trying to get out of that field.
Camouflaged by twisted metal and broken wood, a baby monitor rests near the wreckage of homes that housed a young family taken by the March 2nd tornado.
I've never been through nothing like this. It's horrible.
Jack Bruff knew there was a storm that fateful Friday. When it passed, he made a quick trip to Pekin to run some errands.
We was going to pay the water bill, and they told us there that there'd been some people hurt at Worley Lumber Company. So that made me think of my daughter and her kids.
As Bruff approached the mobile home park, it hit him.
And as we got closer, I thought, oh my God, oh my God.
His 20-year-old daughter, Mariah, wasn't there.
We got out and we just started calling her name. We was walking through mud and water. It was really horrible.
Mariah, her longtime boyfriend, 21-year-old Joe Babcock, and their children did not make it.
Little boy was laying on the ground. They was trying to bring him back to life.
2-year-old Jaden and 2-month-old Kendall were also dead.
We walked out towards the road, and then they was bringing the other little baby up from way up the road.
Emergency responders airlifted 14-month-old Angel to Cozair Children's Hospital in Louisville. It was up to him to keep her here or let her go.
If I do get to see her, my pastor's going to go in with me, and we're going to pray. We're going to pray there, and I'm going to tell that little girl that I'm going to tell her that it's time for her to meet her mommy and daddy.
The small town of Chelsea, Indiana is forever changed. Homes destroyed and lives lost.
You can see all the material just up in the air, and you can see the tornado going through.
Don Clefman's uncle Terry Jackson and his wife Nancy, both 70, were here, where a house once stood.
He was about like me, easy going, kind of had a lot of fun.
The couple's granddaughter was inside with her 2 kids. A family friend tells us the wind ripped her 4-year-old son, Dalen Jackson, out of his mother's arms. The coroner says they found all 3 victims outside. They died from multiple blunt force traumas.
It made me think about my little boy, and I get to go home to him and tuck him in at night, and she can't.
The Jacksons are a very well-known family in this community.
He was in store, he's always quiet. Dee's business, it's always pleasant to have around. Now, his wife was always a jokester. She'd pick on me a little bit when she'd come in.
The owner of the Chelsea General Store had to scare himself during the storm when several school buses with children stopped to take cover.
We're a little over 60. We brought them all back here behind the coolers in this area here.
Back on Jackson Road, Governor Mitch Daniels spoke with one of the bus drivers.
We're getting hailed on. It was huge, and it sounded like I was in a tin can. My kids were so good, though. Blessings.
But when she got home, her house was barely standing, ripped off its foundation, and a stone's throw away from where her family once lived, the Jacksons.
The work here across southern Indiana will last quite some time. As a matter of fact, they're going to need a lot of help for the weeks and months to come. And Wave 3 is pitching in, working for you. Dawn G with a call for help.
All right, Kevin, thank you. And it is a call for help, which means that we are calling you. If you are watching right now on your couch and you've been wanting to do something, we're trying to make it as easy as we possibly can. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call 571-3333. The monies that we are collecting right now go directly to those victims here in our own backyard.
We asked you to call in. You did. You helped us raise more than $431,000. That is incredible. Now, that phone bank may be over. We still want you to help those affected by Friday's deadly storms in Indiana and Kentucky. You can donate these items to the Wave 3 Collects through Friday. Log on to wave3.com to find out other ways you can help, as well as watch all the stories that we've done. $431,000.
Yeah, we didn't really know what to expect, but everyone was bowled over here, and that's because people just really wanted to chip in.
It's been a fixture along 62 for years.
It's really convenient for all the people who live out here.
And life-saving for dozens of children who hid inside during the tornado.
One of the bus loads, they all signed it. Hey, guys.
Build and open the Chelsea General Store like he did 5 years ago. knowing he was going to have to shut it down.
Feel like you failed the community?
Tony Williams still has a steady flow of customers, but they're spending less. And he's had a long-standing battle with the head of the health department.
Ralph Armand is a tyrant. You know, I've never seen such little compassion in one person in all my life.
Williams spends hundreds of dollars every month pumping a septic tank. He says he can fix the problem, but Health Department Administrator Ralph Armand won't let him.
He describes it as harassment. Were you harassing him?
No, ma'am. At no point in time did we harass him. At no point in time did we set up any kind of requirements.
Armand, however, says the leak isn't fixable, but the design is up to the State Board of Health. They just enforce it because raw sewage is dangerous.
If the mosquitoes are hovering around that and they bite you, they can transmit several diseases.
Either way, Williams easily dropped $15,000 on the system over the last 15 months.
I think he uses the rules to make it harder on people.
And says he has lost his will to fight.
Nobody has a personal touch, and I give it because I care.
The store is scheduled to close on Saturday.
Not many could ever forget this sight. Seconds before, this more than 30,000-pound school bus was picked up as if it weighed nothing. And minutes before that, 11 students and their bus driver were on board.
You guys okay?
On March 2nd, because of the tornado warnings, Henryville school kids were released early. Angel Perry was driving bus 211. She was in the process of taking home students when bus radios started buzzing with funnel cloud spottings.
I see a tornado touchdown about 1 mile from me. Oh my gosh. Tornado on the ground, guys. Quiet. Everybody get to the middle of the bus. If you got a book to put over your head, do it.
Perry then made the decision to turn her bus around. She radioed in that they were about a minute and a half from school.
If anybody needs to call their parents, we're going back to the school. I can't. I don't know my parents. We'll call when we get to school. Okay?
While en route,
There's a tornado right there, guys. Look, the funnel cloud.
she knew they had to act quickly.
Guys, we're just going to go as fast as we can into the school. Everybody stay together. All our group together right now. Go, 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 go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on. Come on, 10, 11, go, go, go.
They made it into the basement of their school, never imagining when the all clear was given, even the safe place would not be spared.
The horns and hearts are sounding in Henryville. You getting a lot of honks?
Yes.
How many honks?
Hundreds.
11-year-old Zarin Sullivan hopes his sign is a reminder of faith at work. He certainly brought the human spirit here, and we know where he gets it.
Pulled pork, chili, burgers, hot dogs, smoked sausage.
Zarin, his family, and friends of Smokin' Jim's in Bedford have stood over a hot grill feeding hundreds of survivors and volunteers since Saturday.
That's our jobs, to get out and feed those who need it and take care of others who need it, because tomorrow it may be our house. We never know.
Bedford suffered its own tornado last year, but this devastation.
Walking around and looking at what the destruction has been the thing that moved me the most.
Just you want to cry when you drive in. Seeing the sign that says Henryville closed, I mean that tells you something right there.
It definitely makes you think when you go home and everything's nice and tidy at your house. You know, thankful that what the good Lord gives you, that's for sure.
We're making one for you if you'd like.
Whether it's a hand from the Red Cross,
Hey, God bless you. Thank you.
a hot meal from Walmart, or a needed hug, on every corner we found more of the same. 8-year-old Jacob Sweet wanted to serve his classmates. How come you want to help all these people?
Because they're special.
It feels good. Like he said, he called everybody special. So I'm just trying to teach them to give.
This is tough. These people I've not seen a frown. I've not seen anybody tore up. Everybody has been upbeat and they know they're going to survive. It's just the soul of the earth and the pillars of America right here in southern Indiana. Proud to be a Hoosier. Don't mess with southern Indiana people.
That's right.
That's right. We rock. We rock.
We'd rather be down here helping people that don't have anything.
The damage and the scars are still visible, like this mangled mess of metal and debris behind me. Some wounds are still healing and some people are still grieving. But Sunday, people are taking the time to stop and remember. 6 bell tolls, one for each month that has passed. Vicki Horine vividly remembers March 2nd. She rode the storm out in a closet inside Henryville Elementary School.
And then we saw it coming right across the back of the school. So I would say at that point I was a little more scared than what I wanted to be. But we made it in just in time as the windows literally blew out of the building.
What she and so many saw that day burned into memory.
We began just hugging and consoling each other.
Now, 6 months later in Henryville,
the best way I would describe it is a sense of thanksgiving at this point.
Hope, healing, rebuilding.
That we have survived to this point. We have begun to revive at this point, and in many instances we're thriving, such as the high school now.
Vicki's parents' home was heavily damaged. Now it's being rebuilt.
The whole town is healing by watching that rebuild, as we are with each other.
The community coming together at a free picnic to say thanks and remember.
We realize that we are connected together. We're all part of the same human family. And what we do does matter, and we can make a difference for others.
It's those people.
30 years of getting her room ready for the first day of school.
There's a lot of, copying on the copy machine that I haven't had time to do yet.
It's unlikely you'll find one that was more exciting for third grade teacher Melinda Wright than this year. Yes, it's another chance for a new start for Mrs. Wright's students.
The kids are going to be totally excited to see all this new stuff.
But it's also a return to something familiar.
I want them to know that we're back to normal. We're okay.
There was no excitement the last time the students of Henryville left their school building.
Just a scary day all around.
It was minutes before an EF4 tornado came through, taking off the roof and tearing down the walls. Then, neither the teachers nor the students knew if they would ever be able to come back. Fast forward 5 months.
We got it. We pulled it together, and it looks good.
Which means it's unlikely when the kids take their seats at their new desks, summer break won't be the topic of conversation, but rather the work that was done repairing their building and all the new supplies.
Normally we don't have the supplies for the kids on their desk.
They were donated from other schools, basically complete strangers.
They all got new backpacks.
So everyone inside Henryville Junior Senior School can move past all they lost and enjoy the first day of school, just like all the other kids, excited about a new year and a new start.
Milton Fire and Rescue is inviting everybody out to see how far they've come since the March 2nd tornado. Their new firehouse, Station 2, they say is bigger, is taller. They designed it for the future. And though they're happy to have the upgrade, they say getting here was not easy.
The stairs used to be about where that is.
Fire Chief Jason Long is thrilled to finally show off his new firehouse.
It's a better building, it's better for us, and it's going to serve the community a lot better.
The last 5 months have been an uphill battle, responding to the needs of their district after their building and a truck were demolished in the March 2nd tornado. Luckily, they didn't lose any men. Andrew Stark was the only firefighter in the house at the time.
I had to kick the 2 doors out, but then I was out fine.
The bathroom where he took shelter is now just that, a storm shelter.
So we figured this is probably the strongest point of the building.
It was thanks to insurance money they could get that addition along with the building as a whole. But it didn't cover the daily cost to operate.
We're a non-taxing department. All of our money is from donations.
Or one of the most prized items, their fish fry trailer.
The fish fry trailer, we do one almost every weekend.
No trailer, no money.
We were really hurting as to what is going to happen to our future.
That's when LG&E stepped in with the cash to buy a new and better place to cook.
The fish fry trailer, we're able to do a lot more. We can do hamburgers now. We used to only do fish, now we do chicken, hamburgers, pretty much everything.
Others gave money so they could pay their bills.
Those donations have acted like we've never lost a fish fry.
And continue to serve all those who kept them going when they weren't sure they would make it.
Before and after the March 2nd tornado, from every angle, it was impossible to take your eyes off of the Henryville High School gym and how it was blown away in an instant. Tuesday night,
first one since the storm.
Coach Dan Carmody and the Hornets show off their nest for the first time.
It's amazing to have it open again because, you know, our school, it starts in the gym. You know, we have our pep rallies, we have our teams, and right now as they're coming out, it's just an amazing feeling.
Real special for, you know, everybody, players, but also for the community and you know, our school.
As the Hornets host Christian Academy of Indiana, the gym's shiny new features are all the buzz.
The bleachers are bigger and everything's a lot brighter, and I really enjoy it.
The lights are brighter and more energy efficient. Most notable, the beauty of the maple floor.
The different shading of the floor, they thought it was really neat, or cool, I should say.
For the team, the impressive new gym is all about a sense of pride, but it's about more than just basketball, volleyball, or any sport played here. From election voting to meetings, school plays, Special Olympics, and blood drives, this school gym is a symbol of what Henryville has been through and the future to come.
In smaller communities, I think it's always kind of the heart of your community. And Friday night, this is a Tuesday night, but Friday night, Saturday night, whatever the night it is, when there's a basketball game, your communities look forward to it and they want to come out.